remember this fucking chest?
It has been a while since we've seen this chest.
This is literally the only time anywhere in the game that any standby NPC actually comments on you being able to open the chest now. Which I guess is fitting because this is the one that taught you about it. Anyway, the hungry salmon is just a crafting item. There's a lot of stuff that we're building up that's basically all just eventually going to be for crafting endgame stuff. And speaking of crafting, I kind of sat on this one for a while, but yeah. We can get the drill now.
I see that. So what does Lucky Lucky do?
It increases the chance of drops, basically. And yeah, we can also buy whatever the hell this is. It turns out that this is about the point where you can actually engage with this guy. Whoever the hell he is. But yeah, that's how you actually get this thing. It's not a bad weapon, actually. But yeah, there we go. Increases drop rates from all sources. It's very important that we know that this includes plants.
Isn't the plant checking quest, isn't that reliant on you getting the drops for it to count as...
Yes. Yes, it is. There's also a separate item that we got from the plant quest that also boosts plant drop rates based on your combat rank. These are two entirely separate drop rate boosting systems. So anyway, yeah, that sure is a thing that happened, right?
So it sure is a coincidence that he's pointing us towards what I presume is the last major area of the game.
Yeah. I detect the suspicious hand of the game designer here. So yeah, now that we have Shock and Wave, a whole bunch of quests have opened up, besides the Mushroom Kingdom one. Mostly, it just means the factions have more work for us to do. So, here goes, I guess. Weed out. Of course. So, this quest is kind of low-key infamous, because people get stuck on it a lot. Because you gotta roll around half of Gaia's garden and find a bunch of hidden plants. You do get stuff to help you find them, because we do have the Seeker senses, but unless you're actually on the screen, this doesn't help you very much. So, if you're not careful and methodical and all that stuff, it's real easy to just get stuck on this and have no idea what to do. And that sucks. So anyway, now that we have the gold key, this is the point at which I can finally just cut loose, and every time I see a chest, I know that we can get it. It's safe to drop what I'm doing and figure out how to get the damn chest. I finally know what to do. Why does something that's, in theory, so liberating end up feeling so restrictive? maybe this too is game design?
I feel like it's equal parts liberating and crushing, in the sense of like, oh no, now you know you can get it.
Yeah.
God help you, it could be anywhere.
That means there's nothing but my own idiocy holding me back anymore. No excuses to hide behind. The fact that I haven't gotten everything right now, right away, is my fault. So anyway, here's some juiced up plants.
So those plants appear to be teleporting.
Oh yeah. I mean, the red ones teleport as well, but these ones teleport even more. The red ones just have a little shortwave reaction they can do. These ones they're just everywhere, all the time. Also, they hurt. They have attacks that have high numbers on them. And they got shields. Did I mention they have shields? The whole package is quite engaging to have to contend with. It occupies your attention quite effectively. So anyway, yeah, now that we've got all the tools that we need, the game is free to cut loose itself with the puzzle design.
Now see, that sounds like a threat.
It absolutely is a threat. This game just keeps escalating. I believe we've noted before the continued gradual elevation of the dungeon difficulty with regard to puzzles. Made the joke before that every time you think the game has taken the gloves off, it's revealed that the hands underneath it are actually just yet another, ever more subtle kind of glove that then comes off. There's just... it's gloves all the way down, is what I'm saying. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot of straight-up Metroidvania elements, as we've gone over, so now that we can do the wave bullshit, there's nothing left that we can't do. But there are a lot of puzzles in this game that hinge around coming at them from the right angle, so they're still going to be able to do a fair bit of showing us stuff that we can't get at until we figure something out. It's just... the stuff is more possible than before. And yes, like we've said, that does just sometimes make it worse, but hey, what are you gonna do? The flip side of that is that the more you explore around these places and the more you actually scope out the higher elevations, the more shortcuts you unlock, and the saner it becomes to try and navigate this place. So there is that.
They say all that for a stick.
A stick. Like it says, the treasure of legends. You may remember there is a trader in Basin Keep who can forge the rough branch into a bigger stick.
I'm not sure that's how that works. I don't think you can take the stick and turn it into a bigger stick.
I mean, maybe if you're an amateur that's how it works. But this guy, he's got the goods. I mean, figuratively, we've literally got the goods. You know what I mean. But yeah. A miscellaneous fun fact about the difficult to get chests is that it turns out that all of the characters have their own stock line for when you get to one of them. there are a couple of instances for which characters have stock dialogue, like when you go into a dungeon instance. So, pretty much anybody who you can have in your party will comment on when you finally get to them. And I regret that I have not been able in this series to find out how Apollo learns about them. So that's going to be my error to live with. Sorry. Robbed you all of this content. But yeah, most of the dialogue that you see just wandering around is actually handwritten. But there are a few, like, designated "this character will always speak here" kinds of content. And that's one of them. Game design? Maybe.
Honestly, I find it kind of hard to believe that we didn't, at some point, get one of those hard chests when we were with Apollo the first time.
I feel like that might actually kind of be, like, actually unironically game design. Like, most of the designated hard ones that people will comment on are all gold chests in Guy's Garden. And also I think they all require wave bullshit, so you categorically cannot get them when you're rolling around with Apollo and Jern. Now, of course, we could just not get them right now and come back later when we have a totally free party formation, but... like, what am I even saying? Not get them now? Come on, don't be absurd. I know I'm obligated to do somewhat to be on normal gameplay consideration for a Let's Play, but, like, there are limits, man. And I absolutely, categorically draw the line at suspending my completionist instincts. It's not happening. It's too much to ask. What actually is game design is the fact that we've got all these quests around, the fact that the game keeps finding reasons to have us go traipsing around Guy's Garden again, is what actually does make us actually organically have to interact with some of this stuff. Like, it's all here, and you could just have been obsessively noting everything down as you find it the first time and then go and review all your notes and come back and get it all now. But, that would be fucking tedious.
Yeah, that sounds like that is not the case for the vast majority of everybody.
Yeah. So, the game contrives this little confluence of circumstances that causes you to just be wandering around here everywhere. And in fact, the whole conceit of this particular side quest is we're just generally wandering around Guy's Garden looking for hidden stuff. Like, I don't know how many more times I can make the game design joke. And it becomes a little bit less of a joke each time. But that is absolutely what's happening. There is a theory at work here, and it has not failed us. Of course, the other thing that hasn't failed us is I have been doing a little bit of selective editing on some of this, because, you know, we're wandering around, exploring, looking for hidden stuff. It's not all red-hot action. so naturally I do have to abridge some of this. By the way, they can teleport up ledges, did I mention that?
I don't seem to recall the part where you mentioned that they could shoot lasers either.
Oh yeah, there's, something's been messing with these plants good. Anyway, I don't want to jump down, but one of them came up here and pushed me down, so fuck it. I was happy to let Emily and Tronny take care of this, but no.
At least it's not far.
Yeah, but it is an imposition, and I did kind of forget how I got up there relative to here. We came at the screen from somewhere else, and... I'm like, wait, where do we... Oh no. Oh right, it's round this way. You could see it there just off to the left, but I absolutely did not notice it in time, which was why there was a cut just then. Me and video games. It's like a continuous rolling punchline. Oh well. By the way, keep an eye on these plants as we go around. I didn't include the entire unabridged thing because I'm not a sociopath, but it took quite a while to clean out some of the rarer varieties of them from around here because, as you can imagine, they're all pretty limited in where they show up, and the rare ones are all in really weird places. And this is Gaia's Garden, so the weird places are on an extra level. And you can probably imagine the details. Anyway, look, I am not coming down there.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised you haven't just moved on.
Well, we need to kill these things. The fish is just annoying me, but the plant needs to die. If I could, I'd leave the fish. I mean, I can leave the fish, but the plant is also here, and it's a quest. We must finish the quest. We gotta get everything. I don't make the rules. Anyway, the other notable thing about the Amperies is that, as I think we've probably noticed by now, they do aggro on you pretty instantly. So you can get a little bit taken by surprise, although there's only so much that they can surprise you when you're close enough, what with the whole thing where they're glowing purple bulbs pulsing with lightning. But if you miss that, they can surprise you. Nobody would miss that, right? Speaking of missing, here's the thing that you will notice immediately if you've got good gamer instincts. There's a path up here. This is definitely hidden, but it's hidden in that kind of Zelda way that's just incredibly telegraphed and obvious, and it's always satisfying to find these. But, we can't do anything with this yet. I mean, we can try, but... And yes, I did try once inputting the actual correct answer here, but it doesn't do anything until we're legally allowed to know.
Ah, so it's one of those kinds of locks. That's always a little unfortunate.
Yeah. And without... I don't want to read too much into it, but let me put it this way. When we looked upon that input panel, you knew the answer in your heart, and you were almost completely right. Fortunately, you were not actually totally right, and therefore it is not complete bullshit that you can't input the correct answer yet. So there's that.
Of course that's what it is. I don't know why I would have expected anything less from this game.
Right. But technically, it isn't that. Technically. And that's what's important. The technical part is what makes it absolute truth. Technical correctness, as we all know, is the most important kind of correctness. Also, it took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to realise that the reason I kept failing that jump is because the lily pads are on half an elevation lower than the surrounding ledges. So actually we have to make the jump from here. CrossCode. Anyway. Almost done with the plant murder collecting. Not actually completely sure on retrospect watching this back exactly how many are left at this point, but it's academic, really. I can see why people don't really like this quest. It's just... the theory is there. The whole conceit about making you wander around looking for hidden stuff at this point in the game was correct. It was a good instinct to have. It's good design, but I think ultimately it just...
feels very tedious, is my immediate instinct.
Yeah, there was a solid attempt here, but I think that attempt was not successful. I think this is just too much in the end. It was absolutely the right call to have a quest of this kind at this point. Just maybe not this exact one. Maybe just be a bit more upfront about the locations of some of these things. Maybe have a couple fewer of them.
Like, I think if they had tagged the rooms that had them, and then had like half as many flowers, this would have been fine.
Right? Something along those lines. Wouldn't even have been the first time that the game had given us a quest that was like, okay, do the thing in this room, and then do the thing in this room, and just have 4 of those. And we've got the seeker sensors in each room, so once you're in the room, it's not like obnoxiously difficult to find the things. Also, excellent timing with the peppermint tea. I was starting to run low on them. They are my favourite healing item. Just because the health regen is it's obscene. It's like you drink one of these and you basically don't need to think about healing for the next minute. Far preferable to sandwiches. Fun fact, when I was done, like 100% done with the LP recording run, I had, as you could probably expect, managed to get most of the trophies. And the trophies that I didn't have, I was most of the way towards getting. But the one trophy that I didn't even have like the 1/4 mark reached on was the one for eating all of the different kinds of food items. Like, I just didn't. I find them a thoroughly uncompelling mechanic. There's just so much stuff, and it just doesn't register with me at all that any of this stuff is in the game.
I mean, I feel like a lot of that is probably down to the fact that it would be like giving you a trophy for using all of the different healing potions in Final Fantasy. Like, okay, yes, you conceivably could do that, but some of them are unquestionably better than others on every single level, and there is no reason not to just use those.
Yeah. I mean, even in this game where there's a whole bunch of variety of stuff on offer, you hit the end game and it's like, okay, do you want the low-level shitty cheap versions of these items? Like, of course you don't. You want all good stuff all the time. Why would you bother otherwise? Anyway, yeah, this took a while, right?
I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot that we didn't even have that yet.
Yeah, I mean, we came in here before, but there was the green bullshit and we couldn't do anything with it. Like, the quickest you can do this is if you go and immediately do Zervatar Temple first. And even then, you have to, like, go the whole way through this area and do the Apollo bit and that whole plot quest before you can finish it. It's probably the single longest that one of the Henry quests takes. Though now I think on it, the one in Bergen Trail was also in a cave that you needed the element to get. Also, this guy isn't Henry.
Ah, shit, Leah's a narc.
Also, are you telling me that Henry was not entirely on the level this whole time? Man, I had no idea. The guy just seems so normal and unsuspicious. Anyway, the conclusion to the big plant combat quest is more plant combat. This one's actually kind of something, though. Mostly, Buff Gloomy here is just a powered-up version of the power plants that we already fought from inside the temple. But, his deal mostly revolves around the fact that you fight in a very small arena and he's got a lot of area attacks. As a result, he's kind of a dick. I feel like mostly the action here speaks for itself. And if the action doesn't, then maybe try reading the numbers that are coming up on the screen. Because they're large. On all sides.
Yeah, this doesn't actually seem like it's that... I don't want to say hard is the right word here, but this feels like a very artificial kind of difficulty. Like, aha, we took the dude who has huge area of effect attacks and then put him in a tiny room where you're not allowed to dodge him.
Well, I mean, you are allowed to dodge him, it's just that you have to dodge around the attacks rather than away from them. Honestly, I've got no real trouble with any of this. Half the time, environments in this game don't really factor into fights. Like, it's mostly just token stuff around the edges of rooms, so it's nice when the environment is important in a game that is both a platformer and a puzzler and a fighter and an RPG. I can respect that. And it's an intense fight, but it's not overly difficult. So, I got no problem with this. Also, I got a lot of money.